Well, here I was mining cobblestone like any other day, and then I thought, what if we mined with a purpose? And then I remembered that cartographers sell maps with the directions to an ocean monument.
Well, I could make a sort of makeshift farm.
So what we're going to do is to make a massive hole. Coming in or what? There you go. Right, this might have been not that great of an idea. And we finally got our Guardian farm completely underground, and it somewhat works. Well, that took a while, but finally we do have some, reasonable rates for our Guardian farm, and couldn't be more tired of grinding, to be fair. But in the end, I couldn't be happier about the rates that we are getting, because now this finally looks like a regular farm. So we ended up putting our beacon right over here to make sure that we get all the resistance and strength and regeneration, and we started putting together all of the sea lanterns that we wanted to at least mob-proof the outside of the monument. Yep. So very happy with how all of this has turned out, but this wasn't the only bit of grinding that we have done in between episodes. We also completely obliterated this mountain to get tons of terracotta, and we also started working on a proper slime farm, because in the end, just finding the slimes and killing them, it is kind of not cutting it when we want to build something bigger. And not only we did this with one chunk, but we ended up doing it with 4 different chunks. So we had this first one, this first one that turns out that I think it wasn't even a slime chunk. Then this one that was the original one that we intended to use, and then the one at the very end that turns out it is a slime chunk. And not only we did that, but we prepared this collection system, and we kind of started this, but in the end it seemed a little bit overkill, and I was just getting so tired of mining deep slate that we ended up getting this system over here. So the way that this slime farm is going to work, we have a couple slime chunks that have those spawning platforms that are going to let the slime spawn, and they're going to end up falling into this thing, and that over there is a slime filter, and it's going to filter the slime depending on its size. Actually, let's give it a look in the redstone testing world to see how it actually works. Right, so the point of this filter, basically to, let's say that we get that small slime. That slime is going to fall down and get killed by the iron golem. I actually have to sort that one out. Alright, so second try. There we go. And if it's a bigger slime, that slime is going to end up getting into the lava. The smaller ones are going to try to jump, and they're going to end up touching the lava, but the small ones are not going to touch the lava, and they're going to be just fine. And if we place a frog, that frog is actually going to end up eating all of the smaller slimes. So the plan is going to be to get a slime farm, but instead of using the usual collection system, we're going to get all of the tiny slimes and we're going to send them up for a bunch of frogs to actually deal with them. So for that, well, we first need our slime farm, and we're going to need to place a couple iron golems to make sure that they fall, well, that the slimes go into the pit, and then we just need our frogs. And the only place where we can find frogs, the mangrove swamp. And rather than transporting the frog, I would rather breed them in here and then carry the frog spawn. Let's try to find one of our froggy friends, and let's fly. I'm tired of just dealing with the mud. Aha! Gotcha. There's actually a couple. Oh, that's cool. 1 and 2. There's another one. Right, I think this is the climate one. Right, I reckon this one is going to be the one putting the work. Alright, cool. So, I think that I killed a bunch of children, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to get more children. So yeah, I would like to have at least one of each in the base and that, well, the frog reservoir that we are going to be making. It's a little bit of a nightmare to travel around the swamp. Alright. Now, I thought I could get this in a bucket. Can't? Alright, so this might be an issue, because the frog spawn is going to be in here, and it should give us those warm climate frog. Right, let's try to get as many tadpoles as we can. That's going to be the first one, and we could actually try to get these guys somewhere else. Alright, on me, and YouTube. Right, so now that we are here, we are going to make a sort of, well, a small bit of honey, so they cannot jump around, and we're going to put a little bit of water down there, and we are going to cover all of this in mud so they can't jump away. Take the leads and breed. Right, and now we wait. Alright, so we have moved some of the tadpoles from the mangrove swamp all the way to the base. And it turns out that depending on where the tadpole turns into a frog, we're going to have a different color, which means that we got, oh, right, that's a weird subtitle. But yeah, so that means that we got a little bit lucky, because with our, with this location, we do have the warm climate and the, well, and the temperate climate. This time I said it right. And we need to find, a cold climate close by. I think we have, well, we still have over there the mountain where we got all of the ice. But now we do have all of the frogs in here. So it's going to be a matter of breeding these, that we could actually start putting them together over there. So I would like to have 9 frogs of the warm climate, 9 frogs of the temperate climate, 9 frogs of the cold climate, and have all of them in a building that we are going to make over here. Because if everything works fine, thanks to our filter, we should have small slimes coming from this hole over here. Well, and crashing onto that bit of stone. So we are going to, well, there were improvements that we wanted to make to get more slime, starting with the iron golems in our farm. So we are going to just let those, we're going to start breeding those with these slime balls. Then we're going to get the tadpoles and move them over yonder. Well, actually over there to get the warm ones, and then over there to get the cold ones, and then we'll have to bring them here once they are all grown up. which is exactly what I wanted to avoid, because moving these guys is a little bit of a pain. All of the frog habitat ready. The last thing that we have left is that behind me. It's all the cold climate frogs that we have brought from the tadpoles, and we're going to make the trip to go all the way to the base. And it's going to be a tricky one because we have to first we have to put all of these in under control. I hope I'm able to carry 9 of them. I hope they don't fall away. Right, there's another one. We left any? Nope, that should be all. Right, so now step by step, take it easy, we're going to make our way to the base. Whoa, sorry. Got here, this is definitely a sight, because we do have a ton of frogs that are going to be fighting for all of the slimes that are coming from our farm. Well, there is actually one slime ball over here. Don't know how that got there, but yeah, we do have a ton of frogs over here, 9 of each type to be more precise. But before we finish the episode, let's have a chat about how this thing actually works and We start with slimes spawning in their platforms. They find an iron golem within 16 blocks of them, and thinking they can reach it, they jump into the pit, where they will go through our slime size filter. The big ones get their heads in the lava, the medium ones touch it, but the smaller ones are way too small for the filter, and they get into our elevator, where they go all the way to our frog pen. This was made of honey to make sure they can jump away, but after putting glass walls around it, I might change the floor to grass or moss or something. So the frogs eat the tiny slimes, dropping slime balls, and this gets collected with a lupin hopper minecart. And in addition to our slime farm, we have also made a small pond down here to breed our frogs and to get tons of tiny tadpoles. Because from these, we can basically just put them either in here to get the warm climate ones, either over here that counts as a river, and for some reason, although it's in the middle of the jungle, it counts as a temperate climate, or we can go all the way to the mountain to get the cold ones. So, very happy with the progress that we have made today, but that is going to be all the time that we have. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya!